Hello everybody. I think we're live. Welcome to the after church tea time. Today we have a very juicy topic of overcoming fear with your faith by a beer. So let us dive deep into the discussion today, and let's see who's joining us today in this beautiful discussion. Please introduce ourselves. Yeah, we are like
Laurencio.
And I'm Alexandra.
Hi everyone, my name is Anupama and I'm coming in from India.
Hello, I'm Gabi.
Hi, I'm Liana.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for participating with us in this wonderful after church tea time. So yeah, just let us begin talking about overcoming fear in our lives using faith, using the teachings of Jeff and Shaleia, principles of unionism, and we have seen a lot of spiritualities and like religions, I think, talk about like fear and the non-existence of fear. How fear is all a big fat lie. So we can just dive deep here. Who want to discuss about this first?
Before that, like, hello, Greville.
Hello to everybody joining us.
Yes.
Good. I have some thoughts, feelings to go first.
Who, me?
Sure. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I like this topic because this is our biggest block when we are in separation, the fear that continues to keep us there. And for me, it took a long time to get real with it because for the longest time of my life, I thought it was normal to be afraid of things, that it was normal to believe in negativity, and because that's what you see growing up around you: jealousy, greed, gossiping, and it's all celebrated in a way because it's always on the TV, it's in the books that we read, it's in the people around us in society, and nobody really does anything about it. So it's considered as it's okay to behave this way and think this way. And one of the things that ruled my life for a long time because of this conditioning was always thinking of the worst case scenario. Like, even if something went off well, thinking about what all could have gone wrong in that process. And it's only much later that I learned about the law of attraction. And then I realized how effed I was in terms of, calling in the very things I do not want by holding on to these thoughts and patterns, which I thought were normal. And it always surprised me that how come I'm just attracting this when I don't want this, but I want something better. So yeah, identifying and being aware of these fear-based patterns is the biggest step on a spiritual journey, because if you're not aware of it, then how can you heal it? You can't. So first, understanding that these are fear-based patterns, that they're not normal, they're not okay, and especially if I want to have in my life what I really desire, then definitely not okay. And then understanding that it's not just one vibration, there are many layers to it. And that was another like, oh no, scenario which came up, that I have a few layers of this to heal. But just getting that awareness that, yeah, okay, let's do this now. This is what it is. This, I accept that this is what has been, and now I choose to change it to what I really desire. That is, claiming your power back and releasing fear, and not giving fear that power, that center stage in your life anymore, and claiming your center stage in your life, because you are the centermost person, the most important person in your life. And all this while we've given fear the center stage, like the fear is the lead actor. or actress, or now it's gender neutral, so actor. So claiming that space back in my life has been the most rewarding part of my spiritual journey, and I'm sure that's for others. So coming into that space of fearlessness, like I was even afraid to claim my power. Like when people would say, claim your power, I was like, why? Why do I need to claim my power? I'm just going to become like those people then, which I don't want. But then understanding that, when you're claiming love, the power from love and your position from love is the complete or the diametric opposite of what anybody's position of power from a place of fear and wanting to induce fear in people is very, very different. So they're not the same. So it is safe to be powerful with love. And thereby lies the secret of your fearlessness, your continuing fearlessness, to continuously choose the power of love in your life. Then fear has no power anymore. So that has been something that resonates with me. And something I read very recently about faith was that all our life we have had faith. We've had very, very strong faith. It's just that we put our faith in fear. And now it's time for us to literally release the faith from fear and put it into love, because that's where the faith really, and it's within, so it implodes. And then that's when your power, your fearlessness, your power to co-create with your creator comes alive. And you come alive too. Because you're choosing life now. Choosing love is choosing life, choosing to live. So yeah, that's been my experience of moving from fear to fearlessness with God, always with God.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love that. And I like Abir said also this in her sermon, that we subconsciously have put, fear as the driver in our life. And now that we are on this path of awakening, of ascension, we're starting to see and realize like these, patterns and places within ourselves where we have chosen fear. And that's a good thing, because now we can take, as you said, Anupama, take our power back and choose love instead, choose to put God as a driver in our life, choose love in that space. And this is something that I really, really appreciate about this community and the teachings of Jeff and Shaleia, and being a unionist, is that you always have the opportunity to see, these things. They're not kept in the dark. They're not hidden. Everything is under the light of God, and when you shine the light of God within yourself, in your life, fear has no power, and you just have to allow it to pierce through you in that space, and all fear will just like be melted away, because it's powerless. It's going to be transmuted into love. And I love that. Yeah.
Yep. And I know that Jose and Michaela said at the end as well, like, what's your priority there? Like, and kind of like it should be faith before fear. I mean, fear shouldn't be a priority at all.
Yeah.
Good. So, with that, anybody else? Any other thoughts?
Yeah, one of the things I love with this teaching ever said is that you can conquer your fears in yourself, like look within, instead of going outside and go look up situations or manifest that fear. And yeah, that feels really compassionate. Yeah, that's what stood out to me the most. Yeah, just facing the fear in yourself, because you can, that's how you can do it. And there you don't, I can't find the words, but yeah, it feels really good that we all can do this ourselves.
yeah, we're all powerful here, and we can all claim our power no matter what the situation is, no matter how big the fear is. And uh, fear is powerless when we recognize what it is. And just building a bit on top of what you already shared, it's really seeing what's underneath that fear, as Abir was saying, really seeing what are you actually feeling, and seeing that emotion, so you can actually move through it, so you can have more faith, more peace, more love into your life.
Yeah, I think like a key component here of piece of knowledge is that you create your own reality, and you might go and change something on the outside, and try to fix the situation on the inside, on the outside, but the pattern is on the inside. So as long as we don't heal and change ourselves within ourselves, we're going to repeat the same situation over and over again, and maybe in different ways, in different areas of our lives, but it's the same thing at the core. And yeah, we have to like solve this within ourselves, heal this within ourselves. And this is what the mirror exercise helps us do, to just heal this within ourselves. We shift that fear, we transmute that fear from fear to faith, to love. Yeah.
There is a card, I don't remember from what deck it is, but it was really nice, the message. It was from fear to fuel.
Oh yeah, it's in the hero's journey.
Okay, yes.
My favorite deck. Yeah, from fear to fuel, you transmute that energy. Yeah, because I think like Abir was saying at some point in the sermon that what is fear, when she was explaining how fear is an accident about to happen in the future. And I thought that definition was like, that's interesting. That's smart. I didn't thought about that. What is fear? And but when you realize that you're working with God, so therefore, how could an accident happen somewhere in the future? It's silly to think about that when you allow yourself to see that you're always working with God. Then you're not going to spend your time and your energy into fear. You're going to spend your time and your energy into God, and you're going to go deeper into God. And that's how you actually kind of like transmute this. You don't allow your energy to move into the fear. You're allowing your energy to move into God, into love, into into your faith. So you can deepen your faith in that space.
Yes.
Yeah, I love what Leanne pulled out about you can choose to face your fears inside of yourself. Like you don't have to wait to manifest them in your reality or go through some contrast to look within and ask yourself, like Abir said, what am I afraid of? That seems like a much more compassionate way to kind of start rooting out those fears instead of letting them kind of manifest into our reality, which can sometimes turn into a bit of a nightmare, right? And I love also what Anupama said about shifting the focus from our faith in an external thing to putting our faith internal. And that's essentially like what we're doing when we're taking back power from fear, right? We are putting the power back inside of ourselves instead of attaching it to something outside of ourselves. I thought that was really clever to pull out from that. And my favorite part of the sermon that Abir was going over was when she was talking about tuning into the frequency. Some people probably never had that radio dial that you had to like shift just the right number of degrees so that it would actually play sound and not static. But when she first brought it up, she was saying a disturbance in the frequency, and my mind immediately went to Star Wars as a disturbance in the Force, right? And then like I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. just like feeling for that disturbance in the force, that fear that's like causing something to feel uncertain or to cloud your mind. Like when you're feeling like there's a disturbance in the force, or your energy is going somewhere, or things are muddy and unclear, there's usually a disturbance in the force, right? So you can choose to go within and find that disturbance and tune that radio back into your heart space, right? Because that's where you're going to find God. That's where you're going to find peace. That's where you're going to find love. And that's where that crisp, clear truth is. That's where you're going to hear that. That's where you're going to find it. And that's, you have to kind of release the fear and trace it back to get there. That's how you tune your frequency back into love. So I thought that was super powerful.
Yeah, that's really nice and beautiful share, yes. And I do remember those frequency, radios. I was actually like, as you were sharing, I was really thinking about it. But yeah, like really honing your vibration to that frequency. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is actually really strengthening, right? Because with each and every like little ripple, that we feel, of ripple of the disturbance, we can make a new choice, right? To return back to stillness. And this is something that I really love about Jeff and Shaleia, for example, and how they're role modeling this is that whenever you see like Jeff and Shaleia move through something like in the classes, they're never like in tears or like go into like, I don't know, a massive breakdown or something. And I'm sure like that happens, and it happens for all of us. But the point here is to, even if you go through an upset, even if you go through fears, right, to choose to be rooted in a space of peace, and to realize, that peace is your natural state of being. And even if you feel that disturbance, you can like track it, and just smooth it out back into peace. And you don't need to let that disturbance kind of overwhelm you and overcome you, because that's when you give your power away. And it kind of remembers me about like one of the cards that Dennis and Nicole pulled was like, it was about like not giving your peace away, right? And yeah, I think that tied up beautifully into that part of the service today.
But there is another thing that ties up well in what you just said, and it's Bill's story about the man in the plane, just taking the notebook and just starting writing his stuff, and everybody else was panicking while he just had faith. And I felt very good about that representation of like, no matter how big the fear or the danger may look, don't give it power, and just have faith that there is a purpose why you're there or why things are happening that way. But God wouldn't be a loving God if He just put you there just to perish, let's say. So then having faith in Him would just strengthen your experience, and you will just arrive at wherever God wants you to arrive. And found that very powerful.
Yeah, and once you release that fear, you will never experience like a situation because of that fear, ever again. You won't experience that in your life anymore, because once you've risen to the challenge and you've crossed that, it need not come to you anymore. You've learned the lesson that you had to learn. And that's the beauty of it also, of facing the fear instead of running away or letting it continue to rule your life. And once you face the fear and release it, then the manifestation of the things you really desire doesn't take much time, because God is not slow. God is like beyond supersonic in God's delivery of all your abundance. If there's any delay, and which is why a lot of teachers say, just get out of your own way, Get out of your own way is not like literally, you can't, get out of your way that way, but release the fear. Let go of the things that are stopping your manifestation. And the main thing is fear and all of fear's cousins, greed, jealousy, the whole family of fear. Just release them.
I never heard about this one. Fierce cousins. Like,
Yeah.
That's a new thing for me.
The fear family.
Fear family. Let it go. Call the love family in. They're more fun anyways. There's joy, there's happiness, there's abundance and all the good things. So yeah, and when you have that, and when you're on that, that's the vibration you want in your life. Because when you're on the vibration of having fun, of enjoying, then manifestations really don't take time, and you stop comparing yourself to other people, because you're getting what you want, and you're getting it, far more than what you expected, and that keeps you there. So it's about maintaining, not just feeling the vibration once, it's about tuning into that frequency and choosing to maintain, to stay there, like not disrupting the force, but like they say, may the force be with you, and staying with the force too. Not just the force be with you and you run away from it. You stay with the force too. So yeah, that's also something amazing, because for a long time I used to wonder, why am I not able to get these things I want, but everyone else seems to be getting it really fast. So now it's like, oh, this is the magic pill. Okay. There's no red pill or blue pill. They both lead you the same place. It's just the pill of faith, fearlessness, love. It's not a pill. Not advertising or advocating any pills here, just figuratively.
It's okay. I think they understand this. There's no need for over explanation.
Yeah.
Just have faith that everyone understood.
Just have faith.
Yeah, and that really brings me back to I don't remember where it was said. It's like having just a mustard of faith. It's enough.
Mustard seed of faith. Yeah.
Spiritual muscle, working out your spiritual muscle.
Oh, not mustard. Mustard.
Master. Okay, sorry.
Mustard of faith.
A mustard.
Then, yeah, kind of like just having that much. God can just move mountains.
That's what it says in the Bible, right? You just need a mustard seed of faith to move the mountain. And we look at the mountain and look at the mustard seed and say, "Are you kidding? This little thing?" But yeah, it's really powerful. Having faith.
What that reminded me of, that like choosing to be with the force is kind of like your cell phone, right? If you don't have cell phone service, you're not going to receive any of your messages. So if you're choosing fear, it's not that you don't have any messages, right? You're just not receiving them. And when you let the fear go, when your phone reconnects to service, suddenly you have 3,000 messages, right? That's all of your abundance that's been waiting for you to reconnect to service, right? It's not that you make a choice and then suddenly you're manifesting things. They were there the whole time. They were just waiting for you to reconnect service. So that's kind of how like I see the abundance. It's not that it's not coming. It's all there waiting. Like Anupama said, it's supersonic delivery, right? Like there is no delay. It's all waiting there for you to choose it.
Yeah, your vortex is always full of every desire you have.
I think this is really good to see why faith is so important, because you have to come back into service, right, to receive all of your good. It's not about, someone else bring me my service. No, you have to have faith and no, actually you do have your good. No, actually there is love there for you. There is abundance for you. And all that you have to do is just connect with it and have faith to connect with it. Because I feel like sometimes we're stuck in fears about even connecting, you know, oh, if I connect, I'm going to be rejected or abandoned and hurt in some way. And we don't even try to connect here. And yeah, we just move through all of these fears coming up, through all of these upsets, and you know, we just love ourselves and realize that when we connect here, we're connecting with, you know, with God, with love, and it's safe to connect into that space.
Yep. And just to link back a bit at our comments, seems like Anu, you have some fans around here. Francine is just loving your shares, and
Thank you very much.
and Refti just loved the expression that you, Gabi, used about the cell phone.
One thing that also stuck out to me with the story that reminded me of that, yeah, just knowing that God is with you. Like sometimes I remind myself, well, God is not going to kill me, or at least I'm alive, and fear is about going to die in a way, like, oh, I'm going to die. Because that's for me, and yeah, that's a good reminder. It reminded me of some television series I watched that people saw their future, that they were alive and happy, and that gave them faith to move through their challenges. So there's always something that is helping you to move through your challenges.
Nice. And yeah, having faith through all the challenges is always important. And even if it looks like the situation may turn right or left, just having all the faith there would bring you into the right space, no matter what that destination is.
Yeah. And I think like Francine is giving us like the next piece here, because she was sharing, like, I'm becoming more and more aware how time and time again I have been at the edge of receiving all my good, and then fear takes over and blocks it. I'm more committed than ever to remove all the blocks to love. And yeah, this is where you need that commitment and to really go all in, right? To really like face all the fears, dash through all the blocks, smash through them. Just don't let anything between you and your good, right? And
Don't invite fear in. And even when you're close, even if it seems like you have ended almost the journey, whatever like that journey, specific journey is, even if you're almost at the end, don't let fear in. Never let fear in.
yeah,
Because you may never know what may happen afterwards. And as Francine says here, like, yeah, in a way it can take everything away, but actually just an illusion of everything going away until you have provide that faith again in whatever you're doing.
yep.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, we are the one consciousness, because I was just going to bring up the same thing, that when we are releasing fear and choosing faith, it's important to remember to keep choosing faith, because sometimes in the process of relieving and releasing, or like what we say, upheaval, it may look like things are not changing. It may feel like the same thing, or it may feel like more of the same stuff that you don't want is happening. But we need to persist. Persistence is the key here. To persist in making that choice, repeating that choice that serves us, and choosing to keep releasing and choosing to believe in what you want, rather than just waiting to see it and then believe it. This is something that I've heard a lot growing up, that seeing is believing. And that was a block for me, that I don't see it, so I don't think it's going to happen for me. But when we are talking about faith and vibration and frequency, then it makes sense to believe, to understand that it's always the opposite. You've got to believe in it to be able to see it. So stay with the process, stay with the changes. You're asking for change. So when changes start happening, don't panic and run away. Don't run back to the old vortex. When you're shifting to the new, you got to move through it. So persistence. And yes, and then when you step out on the other side, everything is rainbows and unicorns. So, so yeah, persistence. Always persist through the healing, stay with the process, and you will come out on the other side because God is always walking with you. Always has been, or is right now, and always will be for eternity. And the promise of dreams is that they always come true.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And this kind of brings me back to something that I read either on the Church of Union Facebook page, Instagram. If you haven't checked this Church of Union Instagram or Facebook page, you should like them. Like really awesome motivational content there for you. So I highly recommend checking that out and giving a like a follow, depending on which platform you're at. But there was like a quote about, how God is backstage and, he's like working everything out. And I just had like this little image as we were like sharing, Anupama, how, we are the main actor, like in our own life, we are on stage and we're living, right? But we don't know what's happening, on backstage, we don't know how God is like directing teams and everything to make sure like, oh, now we have smoke coming in and now we have the lights shifting and now we have the things moving around and things changing in the picture, everything. And oh, no, us as the main actor, are we going to be petrified in fear, being like, oh, is the smoke going to start? The smoke has to start. Is it going to start? No, like you just like focus and have faith, that, God, which is the team, that's helping you behind, they're going to start the smoke when they're supposed to start the smoke. They're going to shift the lights when they're supposed to shift the lights. And you just have to live your life, basically play your play. And, with that faith and that kind of that childlike innocence in God, you can like overcome anything, right? Because you know that God is backstage and he's making sure everything is perfect for you. And you're just gonna see how everything like aligns perfectly. And even when, things might not align perfectly from your own point of view, if you just kind of sit down, and that's a moment when you have to kind of sit down and just reassess and look at things, and it's unpleasant.
And don't freak out.
And don't freak out, but you reassess, and you're gonna still see that God is there, even if it didn't turn out as you think. God had a better plan. God had like a grander vision for you or a better way. There's no mistakes in God's plan. So this is why faith is key in this journey.
Yep, spot on. God's backstage, God's giving the applause also. God's everywhere. Cheering you on. Yeah, go on, you got this. Come on to the next one. It's lovely.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have more comments and more hellos. Hello to all of you that have joined us in the meantime.
And Granville is giving us the next piece here, and he was sharing, something that Jeff shared in the Wednesday 1 p.m. class that really stood out for me was that was to keep showing up and working at it, and it just cemented the feeling that it's always a journey. Yeah, it's about your journey with God.
Yeah, and it's really about having faith that whatever you're moving towards is going to happen, but not being attached to how it looks like. But you can never fail if you never give up on keep moving forward in the direction that you desire.
Never gonna give you up, God.
Oh no, you did it, Rick Astley.
Ah,
Yes, that song has popped up everywhere of late. People are trolling people with that on the internet.
Yeah, we just got rickrolled by Alexandra. Good job. Good job.
well, God is never gonna give you up anyway. So.
Exactly. Good job. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down.
Exactly.
Well, you have to have faith that you're going to be trolled. God is not going to let you down.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the best way. Like, have fun on the way. It's a journey. You may as well have fun and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be miserable, but it's just gonna feel bad.
Yeah, and you bring here a good point. Like, what is the purpose of this journey if you don't enjoy it? If you don't enjoy your life,
Exactly.
like having faith going on this journey, just working hard at it. But if you don't enjoy, what's the purpose for it? What's the
Exactly.
purpose for all this work?
It's like, why go on vacation? Because you leave home to ultimately get to Greece, for example, and then you and end up coming back home. So then you may as well not leave your house. But why do you take a vacation? It's because the whole journey of getting to that place, enjoying that place, and then coming home is the experience that you want. It's not just one destination to the next destination. It is that process of getting there that is the experience. And the process of them coming back, that's the experience. So enjoy. So Rick Astley.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Did you want to say something?
Kind of just remember me about how when we went to Toronto, and by the way, Sedona is coming close, I didn't felt, that the journey was complete until I just came back home. Like when I entered, I was like, oh my God, that just happened. That's like the first thing that I said when I came back from Toronto. Like I stepped into my home and I was like, oh my God, that just happened. That's when it kind of just like dawned on me, right? So yeah, I just remembered around that. It's a journey.
Good.
Yeah, this reminds me of like, this is all just the hero's journey. Like a game we want in a way these fears to overcome, because then we grow and it's all just little presents from God anyway. And that just adds to the fun if we see it that way. If we go into the fear and only see the fear, then we don't see the fun of the journey. But if we see it from God's eyes and what we're moving through, it's just helping us to grow and grow more into love.
And you can have fun on any journey you choose to undertake, even a journey that has troubled me my entire life, reducing weight. It's always been a pain because I've always looked at it as the hardest thing to do and maintain. It's literally felt that heavy. But now when I'm seeing the difference and choosing to believe in myself and choosing to have fun on the way to that goal, then it doesn't feel so tiring and so exhausting and time consuming anymore. And it's not something I forget. I actually choose to remember it now because it's connected to fun. It's not connected to pain or suffering. So you can choose to have fun on any journey to any goal that you want to achieve in your life.
That was like a toast from my side, for that. And having having faith that actually like God wants you to have fun on the journey, not just like God doesn't want you to suffer. Having faith that whatever like God sends you, there's a deeper purpose. There's something that is unfolding in your life there, and it's providing you with more and more peace.
I like that that illustrates also what Abir was saying about making choices out of love instead of out of fear, or making choices to follow peace instead of because you're afraid of something. You know, what you were saying about weight loss, right? Your journey is going to be a lot different if your motivation is a fear to be fat than it is if your motivation is like peace and love of like feeling good in your body. It's going to be a totally different journey for you. And I love that you brought that up, because I think it illustrates that point perfectly. That, you know, when you focus on making decisions out of peace and love, you're going to have a very different journey than if you're choosing fear as your motivation or pain as your motivation.
Yeah, and something connected to that I also learned, which I was not doing right, was using the term weight loss. Because whenever you lose something, there's a tendency of, you know, the opposite is you will find it again. And I don't want to find this way. So the choice of words is also extremely important. So it's like weight reduction journey now that I choose to be on. Reduce it. I don't want to find it anymore. Reduce and be done with you. You know. So yeah, the choice of words. That's. I mean, there are. I've read it quite a few times that the words you use are extremely important on your spiritual journey, because every word is part of the sentence, and that sentence becomes like the spell that creates your life. So weight reduction journey. Choose to have fun.
Or you could call it your health and fitness journey, right? Yeah. What
My
you're wanting to get instead of what you're wanting to not get.
Not get, yeah. My journey to optimal health.
Yeah, your journey to optimum health. That's even more motivating.
And choosing to have fun on the way to it.
Yeah.
So that means no diets.
Hashtag divine dish.
Yeah. You know, eat what really supports you.
Yep. And Christina was just like plugging Divine Dish here. So for those of you who want to experience divine food, we highly recommend Divine Dish. Check it out, Divine Dish.
Yeah, and to have more fun on your journey, we will have Divine Gaming out soon.
Yep.
Hey.
It's coming. It's coming. We cannot be in a room without bringing fun in the discussion.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, and Francine was also like agreeing with you that weight loss, the word loss may bring up fear. So yeah.
I was agreeing with Gabi.
Yep. The journey to how do you say the journey to your perfect health, optimum health.
Optimal health, yeah.
Yep.
And having fun on the way.
But having fun on the way. Having fun on the way is always an option, a choice.
So eat what makes you feel good and do the exercise that makes you feel good. Yep. Dance away the journey.
Have faith.
Have faith. Yes.
Have faith in Divine Dish that it will bring you the perfect one. Have faith in the journey of eating healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here, you have to have faith that sometimes when you're healing, you don't know what things come up, right? And you have to face everything that comes up, not just like the things that you want to deal with, right? Being on an ascension journey means that you have to face all your fears, not just the fears that you're comfortable to face. You have to face everything. So therefore, this is why faith is required, because maybe you're going to go to the deepest, darkest cave with like the nastiest fears that you have, and you have to face those as well, right? And bring God in that place as well. And then when you learn to face everything that comes up your way with the same level of kind of like fortitude and commitment and honesty and persistence, you're gonna be like unstoppable. You're gonna be unbreakable. You're gonna be legendary. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, but anyway.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, I love the point too that you made, Alex, about the journey's not over until you get home, right? The journey's not over until you're home with God, until you're home in love, until you have found your way all the way back to your peace. And everybody's journey looks different, right? Some people are having a tortoise hare situation going on where they're cramming in a bunch of healing, and then they have to take a bunch of break and deal with upheaval and rest and sleep. And some people are taking the tortoise's journey where they're chipping away at it every single day, and they just keep going and they just keep going and they just keep going. And whatever path you choose, like, you can't stop short of the finish line. You have to make it all the way home. That's when it feels complete.
Yeah, because the thing here is something that Jeff and Shaleia teach in one of their classes is about, you don't want to have 99% of your good. You don't even want to have 99.99% of your good. You want to have all of your good. So therefore you want to be completely in heaven, not just like 99% in heaven. And yeah, it might be nice, that it's your 99% in heaven, but that 1%, you're gonna feel it if ever like so, even more, as you move forward, and you want to like deal with it and move through it, so you can like experience the full relief of like fully being home, right? It's kind of like when you hit an upset and you kind of get to the core of it, right? And you feel that relief instead of like chipping away and chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. And it's okay to chip away at it, as you said, but it's when you get to that core and you experience that relief, like you feel that shift within yourself and fully being in that place. Oh, and of course, it takes a lot of faith for you to undertake this journey, to go on this path, on this journey. So yeah.
Not just something that Granville, he was amen, here to being legendary.
Yeah, here's to being legendary.
Yeah.
Spiritual warriors. Gaming warriors.
Oh my God, you just want to.
But it is, isn't it? Every time we
Yes.
clear something, it's like we went to the next level, and we have all the goodies
Yes.
of the previous level. We take it all with us, and that serves us to the next level, and then we unlock more goods.
Mm-hmm.
So it
And
is.
face the next level of monsters.
Yeah.
Yes, you need
The
to
next
max
level.
out your faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And we have our saber of faith, yes. Since we talked about Star Wars, our lightsabers.
I'm sorry.
We're embodying having fun on the journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, and this is really nice because I think like Jeff in one of our classes said that this is who we are. We are warriors of God that are unbeatable and unstoppable, and we can face like an army of enemies alone, and we would like win because we have, God. We are of God.
Yep. I was thinking how you're saying like warriors of God, legends of God.
Avengers.
Not Avengers. No, because vengeance doesn't come from peace.
Okay, the legends of, the legends of God. Got it. It's a DC thing, right?
Peacemakers.
Peacemaker. Okay.
Does I know, do we still have something more here? Everybody feels good about what we shared, or do we have any other subjects? Seems like you guys seem pretty complete.
Yeah, I don't know how you feel. Yeah. Good.
So the chat, do you have anything else for us?
Yeah. See.
Okay.
But I think just coming back into the sermon and all the beautiful insights that Abir brought to us is through facing our fears fully and completely, that we become unstoppable in our journeys, and we cultivate faith with God, and that faith with God is like the fuel to our dreams and our desires, and it's safe to be fueled by that faith.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's safe to be fueled by God, and let God guide you all the way through to the finish line of your dreams, not just halfway, not just like 75%, but all the way through, because we all deserve to be in heaven. We are all children of God, so therefore that's our birthright, and it's on us to claim our way. It's like to claim our place in heaven. And we do that by learning how to purify our consciousness from all the fears, from all corners of our mind or our heart, and returning back to God. Yeah.
Yep.
And keeping the faith up. And just strong. Good. So with that, do you guys have any other closing comments about today's sermon, about today's topic, about today's discussion?
No? Okay. Everybody seems complete.
Okay, then thank you everybody for joining us in today's after church tea time.
Time.
We
I think we both wanted to do it at the same time. We're happy you all joined us here, and we hope you had a lot of fun being here with us. And with that, I guess see you in the church and next week.
see you around, and let go of fears, come back into faith.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.